Imagine like a full stadium. It's like the Coliseum. And you just
Oh,
watch.
so people are going to watch the
Yeah.
death penalty too.
How nervous would you be? The penalty of your life.
Good luck to my ancestors.
Hope they're well.
Hope they're well.
Great little caviar.
Very good caviar.
Well, I reckon as usual we should roll into it because
Okay.
we're back and we're in person.
We are in person.
Because the podcast is just so great.
Are they?
I love it.
Yeah.
I do love it.
Self-proclaimed.
Self-proclaimed.
Self-proclaimed. They're amazing.
Yeah. And that's coming from someone who's only made 159 episodes and listened to myself hours on hours.
That would be your favorite pastime, to listen to yourself speak.
Nick,
It's the only person you do listen to, really.
great point.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Nick, great point, Nick. And I write that.
Self-high five. Yeah.
I'm all about that.
That's right.
Which is why I like my own videos.
You like your own
You
videos?
saw me like my own video the other day. Remember when I sent you like the
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I go,
Someone's got it. Self-love's important.
self-love's
I think.
important. Yeah,
I think.
because who else is going to if you don't love yourself?
Yeah, that's a bit too true, isn't
It's
it?
a bit too true, and that's what altruism is, right?
Is it?
I don't know, but it sounds like it should be. All too
It's-
true. Altruism.
Well, yeah, makes sense.
If that's not a word, let's make it a word.
Let's make it a word.
in the
okay.
SCULPTED dictionary.
Bit of magnocrity.
Bit.
Bit too magnacrosis.
Yeah, the magnet processes were really, really high in this
Magnet
environment.
process. Yep.
It's just like a repelling force.
How have we caviared 20 seconds in to... You haven't even done an intro.
I wanna-
We have literally...
Yeah, we're gonna skip the intro.
Will we?
Yeah, because it's like, what are they gonna listen to? You know? Welcome back to the SCULPTED Podcast. Shush.
No, they'd much prefer a caviar.
That much. Because caviar, it's a delicacy, actually.
Yeah, I think so.
And also, there's a reason why caviar is only given to you in small amounts, right? Because
I've never had caviar.
we did talk about this, yeah. I'm a man of class. I don't know if you've seen the shoes, but
People wouldn't think so.
Have
If they're listening, maybe, but
yeah,
definitely not on visual.
you've not seen my haircut.
Yeah.
I've got a haircut now. So
Yep.
fade,
Awesome.
hello. That's what the kids want.
Is it?
Challenge.
Oh,
We can't
Yeah.
we can't measure it because we started off last week on Saturday. But
yes.
great start from me today.
Yep. What was it?
24% recovery,
Oh, that's very good.
51 HRV with 52 sleep performance.
Sleep performance. What is that? Is that sleep consistency? No, that's sleep performance.
Yeah.
What's your average for the week sleep performance?
Average sleep performance is, drum roll please, 58%.
56%.
Wow.
Wow.
And that's with like 2 hours of sleep last night.
Yeah.
I will caveat though. I've got to give myself a little bit of grace because no, frick grace. We were literally speaking about this. I'm not giving myself grace.
Yeah,
Ew,
yeah.
grace.
Ew, yeah.
What the frick is that?
Yeah.
What
What the frick?
I'm not even childish. I'm not even childish because I don't swear. That's the most adult thing you can do.
Exactly right.
Control your tongue
Are you putting your hand there so that I hold it?
if you want. It's personal. Cut.
Like you've got the...
So yeah, I had a meeting last night at around 9 p.m.
Yes.
Finished around 10:15. Then went to bed. I've got like a 1 hour.
Was it
wind down.
10:15?
Then we went to bed at
It
11.
was that late. Wow.
We went to bed at 11, bro.
Did we?
Yeah.
I don't think I did.
Check. Oh, but I've got my 1 hour wind down. You
Oh.
probably went to bed 10:30.
So what it'll tell me? 11 p.m. I was asleep.
Okay, that's same as me then.
Was it?
Because my journal.
Do you journal as well before bed?
Of course. Been
That's good.
journaling for the past 5 years.
Really?
Yeah, bro.
Just writing how good your thoughts were that day?
Yeah, or writing how bad others people's thoughts were.
No, that requires listening, and you don't do
I
that.
don't do that. Yeah, true. I was just listening to my own thoughts.
True
and saying
dat.
how good they were.
You're like, I gave myself 6 self high fives today. I had 6 great thoughts.
Lower than the average of 10.
It was a poor day.
Yeah, poor
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
And I don't give myself grace, which is talking about how then I had to wake up at 4:55 a.m. to get onto a 5 a.m. call to Germany.
You just work hard like that, don't you?
The most non-linear productivity, non-linear exponential productivity.
Non-linear exponential. Yeah.
The ELEP. No, sorry, NLEP.
You don't even know the term
Well-
for your own.
I was thinking like NLE chopper.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it's the NLEP. I actually think NLEP is a thing.
Is it? Look it up.
I feel like I've heard.
We need Proddy
Yeah.
here to look that up.
Proddy Alfio.
What is it?
The NLP is the National Leprosy Eradication Program.
Oh no, they've already trademarked it. Hey,
They've already trademarked it.
that's not good.
We do need to eradicate leprosy. I'm a big stander for that. Yeah. Big
for the last 15 seconds.
No, for the last 10. Now 15.
Yeah, 15.
20, 25. Yeah. Ongoing.
Lifetime member.
Lifetime.
Yep.
Do you know what leprosy is?
Leprosy. Yeah, it's a disease.
Good. The leopards, we call them.
The leopards. Yeah. You turn into a leopard, that's the leprosy, isn't it? Leprocosis?
Yeah, the leprocosis in the air is really, really transcendent.
Oh, so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, really bad in this corner.
Really bad.
Yeah, NLE chopper.
Almost as bad as your 7 kg dumbbell bicep curls this morning.
Cut that one out.
Are you actually cutting
No, yeah, I'd do 7 kgs. If you couldn't tell, that's why my hand's here, just so I can like flex my biceps all the time.
Yes.
I'm actually just trying to get some time on.
You know that shirt is actually supposed to be skin tight.
Offensive. It's skin tight around.
Same with this long sleeve.
I actually like that. I like how it's not got like a cuff.
Who said that you could touch it?
Back on to point. So
okay, I'm going to give you a moral dilemma, Nick.
Let's go.
Yes. Okay, so you are driving along,
Mhm.
and as you do, you usually look at your phone while you're driving. Okay.
I'm gonna have to beep that part out.
No one's listening. The CIA are definitely listening.
But actually, they'd probably want that multitasking because I'm good at it.
No, because you haven't listened to my story yet. You're looking at your phone. Someone runs in front of your car. You hit them. You pull over. They're
pull over.
They're
Pull over.
dead. Yeah.
Okay.
But the person behind you has also stopped and is absolutely so distressed. They think they've hit them. The punishment is a life in prison. Do you tell them that it was you who hit them, or do you let them believe it was them?
Oh my gosh.
See how good my what would you do is compared to there's some frames on the windows in the city, and I would work them out by just counting them and getting the answer.
Average. Oh gosh. I actually with my advisor last night, we asked him that question.
Oh, I never asked you what was your actual answer because you just gave me the answer you didn't come up with that answer, did you?
No, I did.
Yeah, but that's not logical. That answer. That's not the correct answer.
Okay. Anyways, my advisor, he gave the same answer as you. He said, yeah, he'd look at some reports and then figure it out.
Because that is the correct answer.
And so if we take
and
that...
was he pissed off when you told him your answer?
No, because we said that our way was right.
And he just listens to you.
He just listens to us. How's that for a power play? But that also means that you might be on track to become a multimillionaire.
And you're on track to being right.
And that's all that matters.
Is it?
Being right.
Pessimists are right. Optimists are rich. We'll see which one we are, hey?
We will see. And back to the point, because we're on the biggest caviar right now.
That's all right. That was actually a good caviar.
That was a good caviar. What would I do?
Also, quick caveat.
Yeah.
Is it budget cuts? We usually have waters. I would think we'd have caviar. Now we've got nothing.
All my days, we actually should do an episode where we've got caviar.
I know.
We actually should do that. If there are any caviar brands, actually, there's a lot of caviar places.
Imagine we should be sponsored by a caviar brand.
You know what?
A producer of caviar.
There's probably some local people who would actually sponsor us.
That's niche as hell as well.
That's niche.
What other podcast is sponsored by caviar?
The Caviar SCULPTED Podcast. I actually reckon we could get
that. Is actually awesome.
Yeah. We'll get our agent onto it. Probably after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would I do? I believe that it's my fault. I'll take responsibility for it.
So you're going to go to prison for life?
Yeah, I guess so. Because also, there's probably some evidence in that situation where it's like pointing at me that it's very obvious.
No, stop adding to the hypothetical situation.
It's just.
It's if you let them believe they're going to prison.
Yeah. I think I'd have to. Because I'd probably rationalize that that's just a part of my character arc. You know? I just belong in pen. I just belong in pen.
You really didn't help the process of the moral dilemma. Because usually people say, no, I won't. I'll let them believe. And then the next follow-up question is, what person in your life do you begin to say, no, I take the blame? So your mum, for example, you'd admit, if your mum was the one behind you, you'd probably say, it was me who did it.
Okay.
What person in your life you're like, nope, I didn't do it?
Wow, there's a lot of them. Well, firstly, what's your answer?
I would let them believe it.
Really?
And then to a certain person in my life, then I'd tell them.
Okay.
My sister, when I asked her this,
Yeah.
she's like, "Oh, mum and dad, yes," I'd say. Jack, no.
Dead face?
Yeah,
Oh,
literally being serious. Because she said, you'd be better in prison than me. So I took that as a compliment.
Oh, yeah.
Believe what's useful, not what's true.
You would be better in prison.
I would be better than you.
Well, than your sister in prison.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
you'd be the best in prison.
I would probably.
No, you'd get bullied so badly.
No, but I feel like I'd want to go in.
You'd want to be the ringleader.
Yes.
And then you wouldn't be the ringleader, so the big guys on steroids would bash you.
No, well, I would try not to let it get to that point. It'd probably get to that point, but I would try my best to make sure it doesn't. You know?
Okay.
I would probably try and make a cult to where they all believe me, and it's like the reason why I'm not as big as you.
You and cults.
Yeah, but the reason why I'm not as big as you guys
is because I'm smarter.
Well, yeah, it's because God gave me this inherent gift that I'm a leader of people. Actually, Nicholas means the leader of people. So I'm the leader of people, and to protect my sanctity, the muscles won't help, and that's why I need to have an army of people who have a lot of muscles, and you guys together, because we all make up a team. And
are they really listening to this long spiel?
And we're all as important as others. We're all as important as each other. But there's two of you guys who are the real.
And you know what they're going to say to this? They're going to say, "Nick, move! I want the mashed potato," because you'll be at the canteen line. At the canteen line, yappuccinoing. They'll be like, "Mate, move! I'm hungry." What are you talking about?
I'll be trying to be as intimate as possible. I'll do I'll break the physical. That was offensive.
I'm not safe. I might leave.
I would try and manipulate them, you know? I'd be like...
That's unlike you.
I'd get into the ideology. I'd write a nice little email, you know? Reward, ego, collection.
Do you think those big blokes in prison are checking their emails and signing off with kind regards?
Regards, the kindest.
The kindest regards.
Hope you're well.
You're sincere. Huge bloke from the bench press. Who shanked old mate yesterday.
That's Rizology number 101.
Rizology.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your Rizology bit of advice for the week?
Okay.
This is probably getting cut.
Don't listen to me.
That's actually great advice.
There you go. Because I failed Rizology. Also, I apologize for even using that word. Apparently that's what the kids say. I thought it was just like a thing that I heard one time, but apparently it's what all kids say. So I'm not using that now.
Okay.
Yeah.
You heard it from where? Okay.
Moral dilemma. Who would I then put in to substitute?
No. The usual answer is I'd let them take the blame.
Yeah.
But then what person in your life? But you didn't.
Oh yeah, I guess
you'd take the blame all the time because you're.
Oh, okay.
So nice like that.
Yeah, I would probably just mix it into my ideology. I was always meant for pen.
Yeah, you would.
And I'd turn into probably like the Nelson Mandela of pen.
Gee whiz, that's a bit narcissistic, is it not? Thinking that just because you've committed a crime, you're going to be Nelson Mandela.
I probably wouldn't have to
that is the most arrogant thing I've ever heard you say. And you make at least 10 arrogant comments per 30 seconds.
Per minute. Yeah,
your strike rate.
Arrogance per minute.
APM. You've got a very high APM. Just Whoop track your APM.
Yeah, my APM.
On the Sculpted podcast. On the Sculpted app, you need to have APM.
Oh, my APM.
As a metric.
Oh, that's actually so funny.
Arrogance per minute.
My APM.
Arrogance per minute.
Oh, that is brilliant. That is top tier.
Brilliant. Make sure you write that on your Sculpted app.
Yeah,
don't forget that. Don't forget that idea.
Investors, if you're listening for an APM metric.
And if any other apps are listening and they steal that idea, we're coming for you.
Yeah. I'll get my guys from prison.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're also on the Sculpted app.
Are they?
Yeah.
Sculpting themselves
inside
prison.
Okay. So the moral dilemma, we went through that. Good one. I've got something else that could have actually caveated into what you said. Okay. So imagine that's happened, and I've got the death penalty now, not life in prison.
Yes.
The death penalty.
Oh, that's the dream.
Get ready. Okay. The death penalty.
I'm ready.
Actually, you against the executioner, and it's penalty. If you score, it's not life. It's not a death sentence.
Yeah.
But if he saves it or you miss,
I hate football.
What would you do? How do you reckon you'd go? How do you reckon you'd go?
I'd score. I'm great at penalties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Panenka?
No way.
Imagine Penang Creek.
Bottom left.
Bottom left?
Yeah.
But what if he's good? What if the execution is good in goal?
But I back myself with penalties that
Yeah.
even if the goalkeeper's good, I'll score.
But your life depends on it.
And
You reckon you'd bag it?
I'd bag it.
Yeah?
For sure. Well, I'd rather that than let someone else take it for me.
Great point. Yeah, I would
Yeah?
take it for you.
I would definitely not let you take the penalty for me.
Very bad at penalties.
You're very bad at football.
Insults.
So
Yeah.
what's the alternative? If you don't take the penalty, what happens?
Death.
You just die.
Just die. The
You may as well
executioner.
try then.
Yeah, you may as well. You may as well.
There needs to be some alternative if you don't take the penalty.
Should we bring back the death penalty? I feel like it's a funny thing. Like, what do you think Haaland would do? Imagine Haaland's just been, I don't know, Jeffrey Dahmering, like, the whole city of Manchester.
Yeah.
And they say, okay, Erling,
Then why do good footballers get rewarded?
great question. But that's why we need to bring the death penalty. Oh,
Yeah, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Because what? Just because you're a good footballer, you don't have to die?
Yeah. That's kind of how it is already, though. They can get away with a lot.
Yeah, true. The fact that Mason Greenwood's still playing is
Hmm.
a bit sus. Okay, what's your first topic of the day?
Death penalty.
Was it actually
Although it was a good topic. Like, I think,
when you're CEO of the world?
yeah, when I'm
Will
CEO,
there be a
It-
death penalty?
it could be there.
Goodness me.
It could be there. Like, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, arm for an arm. You know?
Okay.
Bring the death penalty back. Imagine like a full stadium. It's like the Coliseum. And you just
Oh,
watch.
so people are going to watch the
Yeah.
death penalty too.
How nervous would you be? The penalty of your life. Determined.
Oh, no, but it's death penalty if you miss the penalty.
Yeah. You get
That doesn't make sense.
if you miss the penalty or
Why
keep it safe,
football in it?
what death penalty? It just sounds like
What happens if you're injured?
that sucks. I
It's a
guess you're gonna die.
Tough life,
But
innit?
what if you just roll it in? Like the goalkeeper dives and you just roll it
Yeah,
in.
you do a Jorginho and you watch the keeper move
Yeah.
and then just slot it.
If it's like Jan Sommer, he's techie with it, you know, on the line. He'll wait for you. And he'll like fake one way and go the other.
Yeah. Or Andrew Redmayne.
Do a somersault.
Yeah.
Or Nicholas Craddockfield.
I'd
Just watch it go in.
If you were in goal, and I was taking the penalty,
Yeah.
I'd take it with my left foot.
You know what?
If my life was on the line, I would take it with my left. And I'd do a dizzy penalty before. I'd spin around 50 times, have 50 beers, and then take it and
Oh.
still score.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I actually was really good at penalties, like saving them.
Were you?
Yeah. That was my
Do you
bag.
think you'd save my penalty?
I think I did save some of your penalties at Christie that one time. I think we did a
Did I
penalty shootout.
practice penalties?
I think we did a penalty shootout to finish it off. I think that I beat you in penalty shootouts and obviously you beat me in
That's
two
such
times.
a lie.
No, I do think that we did that.
Such a lie.
We had a World Cup. We had a World Cup. No, I remember it. You asked for my gloves and I was like, no, they're stinky.
Did I go in goal?
Yes, we
Yeah, but
went
that's
against each
unfair
other.
because I'm not a goalkeeper.
And I'm not a striker.
But you can kick a ball from 6 meters
And you
away.
can save a ball from 6 meters away. Just not as well as me. And I can't shoot it as well as you. Equal trade off.
It's not an equal.
Let's
trade-off.
bring back the
It's
death
not an
penalty.
equal trade-off. Yeah, let's bring back the death penalty. May
Okay.
as well.
First topic. So
Okay.
let's get on to the notion. So we have we've spoken about it previously. All the attributes, but none of the proof.
Okay.
I've thought about that a lot recently, and I kind of forgot about some of the proof that I have, actually. I've spoken about how I feel like I've got a lot of attributes to help me in life. And then I was thinking, but I don't have any proof. I actually forgot that I made 10 bags from online businesses before.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about it.
But I think as well, part of the attributes is you have to forget, or like you can't give yourself too much credit for the proof.
That's a good point.
Because if you become too high on your own supply,
Mm.
then you won't keep making
Yeah.
the same.
The APM would be really high there. Getting too high in your own supply.
Yeah, way too.
It's probably be like 1.6.
It's complacency, right?
Yeah.
And I think that is, we've spoken about it before, sort of along the same lines as privilege, is when you're desperate or you really need to succeed.
That's my next point, by the way.
Yeah, the fire underneath you is hot.
Yeah. So I don't want to caveat into that straight away,
Okay,
but there is a good point
thank you.
that you make very good points. In fact, all of the clips are always you. So
But you clip your own clips
yeah,
just to listen to by yourself. You're like, APM, Perfect.
It was a good one, Nick.
While you're journaling, what a point.
What a point. 8 p.m. Write that one down. Okay, so
Yeah.
you're talking about how like a level of desperation, complacency kind of fosters the inverse, where it's
Yes.
like you're just okay with being it.
Yes.
Do you think that because we're always so uncomfortable, we're more complacent because we're okay with being uncomfortable, that we're then more complacent
We're more complacent.
because we're okay with the lowest of lows?
I don't think that's complacency though.
I would say it's
I
not.
think
Yeah,
that's-
it's not complacency, but it's like that same
faith.
feeling.
No, it's not the same feeling.
Okay.
Because I don't know about you. I wake up in productivity debt
Good point.
that I need to achieve something.
Yeah.
Or like my self-worth takes a hit.
Mhm.
And I think complacency is being okay with that debt and being like, I can just do that.
Yeah.
And I've already achieved that, so I don't need to achieve more.
Okay.
Whereas I think being okay with being at the bottom is just faith in your own ability, like confidence.
Yeah, I would say that that's definitely a period of life that I've had. But I would say that at the moment, it's like I'm so okay with being where I am. And this was something that I was worried about when I got a job. I was worried that I'd be like edging on the side of like being comfortable, because comfort's horrible.
It is.
Well, sorry, it's great, but it's actually
it's harmful.
it's harmful.
isn't it?
Yeah, harmful is
Definitely
the
for
better word.
what we achieve.
Yeah,
Or we want to achieve.
And for that, I was aware that because like I've said this before, like my manager at work, great guy, very thought provoking, but he wants me to be comfortable. And I'm like, I don't know why he's like pushing his agenda on me a little bit.
Is he wanting you to be comfortable, or is he recognizing that you should have an awareness of the privilege?
Well, I would say that I'm aware of my privilege, but he then says to me, and also I think that my awareness of privilege means that I shouldn't be comfortable.
That's the same with me.
Yeah.
I think that is almost more power, isn't it?
Yes.
Being like, you can, well, in our situations, you should be comfortable, because really we don't have to have that productivity debt and think we need to race through all the tasks in our day to live a happy life.
Yeah.
Which I think in itself is motivating.
Yeah. The thing that like I thought about him saying that was like he actually said to me like, do you not just want a 9 to 5? I'm like, no, I actually don't want a 9 to 5. And he always asks me, what do you mean by you want to become the best version of yourself? And to me, I explained to him, okay, well, I want financial freedom. I want these specific things. He kind of thinks that I'm just chasing the bag, which I'm actually not.
Yeah.
My evidence shows that I'm not, right? Because I've been scammed a lot.
Yes, I know.
And I don't let it actually dictate anything. If I was chasing the bag, then I probably wouldn't be here right now.
Which means you're chasing your passion.
If we really,
Because
if we want to go,
think about it. If
my passion is to become the best version of myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, why wouldn't you do a 9 to 5 if you weren't chasing your passion?
I agree with you. I just
A lot of people, their passion is they get to live their lives. They're content. They've got a happy family. They get to go with friends on the weekend. 9 to 5 is a means to an end.
Yeah.
Whereas because you don't want that, you want to pursue something that you are interested in.
Yeah.
Does that mean it's passion?
Substitute passion for duty. Yeah, because I wouldn't say to you that I enjoy becoming the best version of myself. I just feel like it's my duty to do so. Because like when it comes to doing the mental work, I don't like doing it. I feel better for doing it. I don't like doing all these things. I don't like having a company that stresses me out. Well, I don't really see it as that, but you know what I mean? Like these things, I would much prefer to be in a tent.
Duty.
Live to my duty. I don't like doing it.
Could your duty be to earn a 9 to 5 to provide for?
Yeah, but I think there's a better way of doing it, because a 9 to 5 doesn't even guarantee financial security.
So you are chasing the bag.
I would say that it's a byproduct of what I need to do. So
Okay.
my manager thinks that I'm very money driven.
Yeah.
I gave him that as a like. He told me one time, like, what do you want to achieve? And I'm like, I gave him an example, and I was trying to explain, I don't want to achieve anything necessarily. I just want to achieve the best version of myself. And I said to him, I'm process orientated, not goal orientated.
Yes.
I told him that I don't write down goals. And I said, like, for me, if I was to write down, I want to achieve $100,000 a year. And then he asked me, do you want to achieve 100,000 a year? I realized that it sounded like that was actually a goal of mine.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, it's not a goal of mine. Otherwise, I wouldn't have accepted a $70,000
But it is
paying job.
proving that you are capable of that and capable of so much more.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what would you say if you were to use that same example for me, if becoming the best version of yourself is your passion,
Yes.
I'd say you believe it's your duty.
Yes, it is. And I think I recognize that the privilege that I have, I'm able to lean into my interests, and then with those interests, prove that there aren't any limits to what I can achieve, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because I recognize that I'm able to study what I want to study and invest time in the podcast because I'm really interested in that and I want to develop in that way. And same as you, I don't have any goals to eventually get to this place, but I would have visions that one day I would want to write a book, because wouldn't that be a good challenge? I'd hope that I'm capable of doing that.
Yeah.
And it's the same with kind of doing a podcast or pursuing that endeavor.
Yeah. Okay.
But I would think, I agree. It's not passion, because that passion implies that you wait for passion to burn inside you and then you act.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of what I chase, I lean into interest-based attention. So I let my curiosity. That's something I really want to, like, my ideal self, I would say, is very curious and willing to learn. So kind of enter situations with an open mind and want to let my curiosity lead my path.
What's one thing that you would say you're in at FTLOG for the love of the game?
For the love of the game.
Yeah.
I would actually say my psychology.
Yeah. Okay. So
because I have to listen to lectures and do the university work, but if I'm at the gym and there's a podcast that from who I listen to that is about those topics, that'll give me excitement.
Okay.
That I can listen to that.
The way I'd quantify FTLOG is the input is less than the output. So what you give is less than what you get back.
Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah.
Because I'm just listening to them talk about it. And sometimes I won't take notes or whatever, but I just like getting different opinions about it. And the way people have quantified that as well is, when your mind is at rest, where does your mind go? Or what's your mind just thinking about? And I will see everything in sort of a psychology frame, or if a situation happens, I will see how does that affect my thinking patterns or my thought patterns. So I think, naturally I see situations in that perspective. So I think that would be my for the love of the game.
Interesting.
What do you think about that?
I mean, I wonder if there's any moments. I'm sure there are moments where, when you're in the game and you're thinking, "Oh, this sucks right now." Are there any moments
when I'm
outside of lectures?
When I'm listening to a lecture, yes.
Because, like, for me, the way that I quantify it is like when I'm. The only thing I really can say that I'm in it for the love of the game.
Minecraft.
Don't expose me like that. I was gonna bleed my mouth out.
Really? Minecraft.
Although there are times where it's
but like, don't you feel the guilt when you do it?
Oh wait, sorry. No, I don't actually.
Really?
No, I'm really good at like dissociation.
Eating. I love eating.
In it for the love of the game.
I am in it for the love of the game.
The most love. And the game is the game.
The game
and
is
I'm always
the
playing
game.
the game.
Yeah.
Where's that pizza? give me two frozen.
You've eaten it all.
I actually did. Okay. There was another point that I do think that I'm in it for the love of the game on, which is building things, which is actually why I think I like Minecraft. And also, just a little precursor here, guys. I'm not a Minecraft addict. It's just fun to go on a Sunday.
Because you've put limits on yourself for it.
Yeah.
And you said you like limits.
And I love limits.
If there were no limits, tell me you wouldn't get off this podcast right now and go play Minecraft.
Oh, I would be on that thing in a second, bro.
Yes, you would.
Oh, yeah. I'd be Stampy Longnose.
Stampy Longnose? What's that? What's Stampy Longnose?
Have we no culture around here?
No.
Everyone right now is listening thinking, Jag, what the frick? You don't know Stampy Longnose? And they would have said, what the frick as well, because they're Stampy fans.
Okay. Who's Stampy?
Stampy's just my guy. I used to wake up every single morning, watch an episode of Jake Paul first, obviously, and then not joke, and then watch Stampy Longnose. Are you searching up Stampy Longnose?
Yes, I am.
Hello and welcome to Stampy's lovely world. And it's another episode in... Oh no, I missed it.
Minecraft video game commentary.
Yeah. Only the best.
Never been happier that I didn't know who Stampy Longnose was. Or Longhead. Longhead! It's Longhead, not Longnose.
2 accounts.
Oh, does he?
Love of the game. What's your points now?
My first point was. Oh, do you want to go into your second point?
I already
Because
went
it's
into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Time scales.
Okay.
Is mine. So viewing your sometimes in situations that are difficult, taking a step out of it and viewing yourself from a different time scale, comparing your progress on a different time frame. So if you are missing out on something or sacrificing something on a Saturday night, but if you look at your progress you're making over a year,
Okay.
I think that is a good way to, and we spoke about it before as well, is acknowledge your emotions but not act on them.
Yep.
I think it's powerful to change the time scale that you're looking at your emotions by.
How do you judge the time scale from a third party perspective? Because I find that very difficult to actually reflect on myself as if I'm someone else who's never seen it.
Yeah. I don't think it's almost taking another view of it.
Okay.
I think it's questioning it. So being like, what if I looked at my progress from in a year's perspective? How would it look? So not saying I should look at it this way or it's better to look at it this way. It's almost acknowledging that right now I'm feeling unproductive or demotivated because I'm looking at it. I haven't achieved that much today. Whereas what if I change my time scale? That can be 5 years, that can be a week, and then just questioning your beliefs about how you feel in that moment through a different time scale.
Could you be at the point where what was the word that I used before, where you're unquantifying? You're looking for things to unquantify, and then you get caught with the wrong diagnosis, and then you try and cure something that was never needed to be cured in the first place by searching for things.
Which is what?
In that example, like you've given, if I'm looking for ways to think about how I'm not doing things correctly,
Yes.
what if I then find something that I think is being done incorrectly, but it was right, and then I give the wrong antidote? No, antidote.
Yeah.
Which is then incorrect again. So, practical one. Let's say that I think that I'm not as productive as I used to be, and then I think me having 17 coffees in the morning was making me less productive. Probably was, but for the sake of the narrative. Yes. And then I stopped drinking my 17 coffees because I thought that I needed to drink, or maybe it's because I needed to drink 20. But actually, no. The 17 was the right amount. It was something else, and I've given myself the wrong antidote. I guess that's just the nature. That's the nature of the beast, right?
That is the nature,
Yeah.
and I think you will work that out in general. But I think timescales are used to a better, more effective way if you increase the timescale and realize that over, yes, maybe your 17 coffees makes you more productive today, but longevity, is that going to help you in 30 years? Probably not. And you'll hate it. Giving yourself grace, that almost having faith as well. You know how you said you have confidence that you're at this level, but it's okay being at this level, and you kind of have trust in your process. It is, timescales are used for that pretty much, saying that if I keep doing this in 5 years' time, I'm making progress every single day, whether it be a 15% exponential increase,
The NLP.
or your new little acronym that you love.
FTLG NLP. For the love of the game, non-linear exponential productivity.
Yes. Your sculpted dictionary is going to be hilarious.
The longest of dictionaries.
The longest of dictionaries. Yeah.
Resume.
Yeah.
Okay. To caveat back onto a point that we spoke about like 5 minutes ago. So we were speaking about the, like, I guess it's to a point, it's kind of the blue dot effect. I actually tagged you in something yesterday evening. That's what you got your tags when we were in, in uni. And one of them was talking about the blue dot effect. Now, I actually rationalized the blue dot effect before. So I basically invented the blue dot effect.
Basically.
Yes, I'm going to call that the Nick Craddockville dilemma of blue dot effectory, I think.
It's actually called prevalence-induced concept change already. So
yeah, made that one up as well.
That would have been a difficult time for the listeners just then when you were speaking over me.
They're used to it. But yeah, that was, so I think the blue dot effect also comes into, there's like the blue dot effect of suffering, but then I think there's also the blue dot effect of like progress to a degree, where there's a level. I guess the blue dot effect comes into homeostasis as well, where that just becomes your new normal. And
Yes.
Stephen Bartlett spoke about this. Big fan of Stephen Bartlett. So if you are listening, Flight Studio, hit us up. No, I'm kidding.
Yep.
I don't want to be attached to a label like that. But
Wow.
because Sculpted has to be independent.
I'd happily leave Sculpted for Diary of a CEO.
No, I can't lose Jack.
I look straight down the camera as well for that one.
Yeah, Stephen, if you are listening,
Yeah,
he's a
I'm
fan of the
looking
pod.
right at you.
Fan of the pod. He's a second degree connection. Big flex. Jack's a free agent, apparently.
Nice shoes, Nick.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
What do you mean, nice shoes?
Nice shoes.
That's so weird. Why do you bring that up, Jack?
Because they're just nice shoes.
Are they?
Yeah. They're going to make my shoes look so much dirtier compared to yours.
And I've got the longest of feet. What size are you? I think you're an 11.
11.
I know.
Really? You know what they say about big feet?
Rare personality.
Not in your case.
Size 13.
Size 13?
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
I know.
That's pretty impressive.
Tell me about it.
The nurse would have been real excited. Cut.
Great reference.
Great reference. Size 13.
Had to
Oh
be there.
my goodness me.
Yeah, bro.
Another point on timescales. I think even for basic emotions, if you are feeling down or like impulsive, not acting on those emotions and realizing that that feeling passes the next morning, you won't feel like that.
Okay.
So almost recognizing that you still have the opportunity to act on that emotion the next morning, but do you have to act on that emotion right now?
And let it dictate your feeling. Well, let it dictate your actions, sorry. So you can't let the
Exactly.
feelings dictate your actions. We spoke about this before. Acknowledge the feeling, because it's probably a sign.
Yes.
It's my opinion on burnout as well. Burnout is a sign that you're lazy.
Yes.
Clip that one.
Not lazy.
No, but I say that I'm like trying to be like contrarian
Okay.
and trying to like get views and
Yeah.
not
that you're money driven.
not that I'm money driven or numbers driven, process driven, and that's a part of the
help.
and the viewers help. And if you are listening and if you are this deep in, we really appreciate you. And if you could like, subscribe, review, tell us how cool we are, because we've got egos, and these egos need to be gratified. Actually,
You're not speaking for me as well, though.
I was trying to. I said we.
I know.
Just trying to shift the blame.
We as in you.
We is in me and my alter ego, who is also a malicious dictator.
So what's the difference between your alter ego and you? Not much. You're authentic.
I'm authentic.
Authentic as hell.
The most authentic.
The most authentic.
I don't mask. You kidding me?
No, not at all.
Would never.
Never.
Anyways, yeah, where were we?
Timescales.
Alfia?
Do you have anything else to add on timescales?
Timescales. No, it's an interesting concept that I haven't really thought about.
Okay.
I like when you do these because it makes me think about like what the two quote was for you and how I've tried to explain it to you a bit more. It then makes you aware of more things that you may not have been aware of.
Yes.
And quite possibly, I already have a perception of timescales, but not under the timescale word.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. When I heard of timescales, it changed the way I thought about things.
Yeah.
Because obviously we are very driven about developing ourselves.
Yeah.
And doing the best to increase productivity.
Yeah.
And what we achieve. But yeah, it definitely, from what I usually do, it changed the way I thought about it.
So what action changed?
What action changed? I was more present in the moment while I was working. The productivity debt, it goes back to that. I would usually think that I'd see my task list and say, I need to get through all of these. Whereas thinking about timescales, it almost makes me, I'm going to learn about this and then I'll do the next thing. But like, it's almost focused on right here and now. It's not, I have to achieve everything today for the sake of achieving everything today. It's, I'm learning because in a year's time, I'm going to be that much more knowledgeable. You know what I mean?
Okay.
As opposed to thinking, I need my self-worth from achieving everything that I set out to do today. My self-worth can be judged on, look how much I'm going to learn in a year's time.
What happens, and that's where you kind of relate that to faith, right? I see that. What happens if in a year's time you're not where you thought you were? Because that's obviously happened to us.
Yeah. But that's...
Stairs?
That looks right.
Yeah, it's an option.
It is an option. But that assumes that you're outcome driven.
Okay, good point.
Because definitely for me, I don't think that's. Yeah, I don't think that is a factor.
We'll rationalize it to fit the narrative.
Exactly. Yes, I could have results at uni, and if the results don't live up to what I'd expect them to be, but then again, I think it's such a definitely psychology and what I learn is so practical in life in general, and how I can help others that I think I might get that satisfaction or that reward in a different way.
Could you tell me what your psychology grade's looking like? I'd be very interested to know.
Really?
Yeah.
My WAM, which is weighted average.
Relax. Not that way.
Yeah, definitely not. This is supposed to be skin tight.
Yeah. We digress.
We digress.
No, actually, we should turn that into We Digest.
We digest?
Yeah, digest and caviar. Hand in hand.
You're giving me too many things.
Digestives should sponsor us. I love digestive biscuits.
I can tell.
I literally wiped off the chalky from the
chalky. No, I licked it off.
Ew, what the frick?
What the frick? What?
Okay, we digest.
We digest.
And what were we digesting?
My WAM.
Oh yeah, your WAM.
My WAM. My weighted average mark.
Oh, okay.
Is 86.
Wow. So we've got a philosophical prodigy next to us. Young Aristotle.
Don't put that pressure on me, mate.
Yeah. What did I say on the banner for YouTube for the Sculpted Podcast? Great banner, by the way. Oh, you can't polish a bird.
Can't polish a bird.
And then the CEO of Maturity over here. Yeah.
You are the CEO of Maturity.
But in the middle it says the want to be modern day philosophers.
That is us.
That is us.
That is us. Even our page is, what is it? Philosophical Forum.
Yeah. I've never even tried to pronounce it. I just gave up.
Yeah, that's a very big word. What does it mean?
I think I searched up in Latin. Yeah.
The fans again.
We'll take a photo with you afterwards. I'll sign your t-shirt afterwards. So I'll skip over that part. I actually think that philosophum I think it actually means wannabe philosophers in Latin. Yeah. I'm like comedic like that. So self-aware comedy. Yeah. Self-deprecating. Yeah, I mean
someone's got it.
Someone has to.
Someone has got to.
And actually
I'm a big believer in laughing at your own jokes.
It's the avalanche effect, right? Like if I was to start a little bit of snow down the hill, eventually it will turn into a big snowball. Then it can turn into an avalanche. So the only way that I can get there is by me pushing it.
Which has what relevance to
self-love?
Your own jokes?
Self-love. I've got to start the laughs for me to have a lot more laughs.
I don't think so, because maybe it turns people off laughing if you laugh at your own jokes.
You tell the avalanche that.
I will tell the avalanche that.
Avalanche. What was it? I was going to search up philosophers dumviri. Philosophus dumviri. Absurdism. That's a bit offensive. Okay, Latin to English. Oh, seriously? Scheisse. No, it didn't tell me that.
Is it because I'm going off the page? No.
I doubt it. Yeah.
But how long has it been recording for?
45 minutes now.
And would it?
No, I don't think so. It probably would have just stopped when you saw it.
No, but I wasn't on that page either. So I went across to the page and it showed.
Worst case scenario, it should be picking up from my mic as well. It would be low, but philosophorum.
What I'm going to do is stay on this page now.
Yeah. Forum.
Gee whiz, are you a boomer over there? What's taking so long?
Literally relaxed technical desert.
Big word.
Speak for yourself. So that's 13 chopper over here. Biggest chopper. Philosophorum.
Little man.
Ask the nurse, buddy.
Sorry?
Ask the nurse.
Oh, big talk.
The biggest. Okay. It says the dumvir of the philosophers. That's not what it means. Okay, anyways. I think it just means wannabe philosophers.
We digest.
We digest.
We so far digest.
Yeah, okay. Other topic that you also put down.
What is hard work?
Good point. Blue dot effect again, right? That kind of links into my...
Yes.
Because for us...
That is great. That's a great point. Because
8 p.m.
Gee whiz, I really regret giving you that compliment straight away.
I'm trying to hold my
As it came out of my mouth, I was trying to get the words back. What are you doing? What are you doing there, bud?
I'll actually have to blur that part.
What?
Like, you know, like how you can do like a blur on like.
Yeah.
I'll have to blur that.
Okay.
That will be taken.
I know, clip.
The context.
I will clip it.
You don't.
I'm a technical desert, and I'll make sure I clip it. That is because you don't know the extent to how hard you can work. And I think we'd probably find that as well in our own journeys. Is if I look back at what I was doing 3 years ago, I thought I was working hard, but then the more you discover about what works for you and what hard work really is, or how productive you can be in terms of input and output, I think that's the addictive part of it as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
There are no limits to how hard you can work, for the want of a better term.
I actually got a point on this. It talks about how there's so many things to get through here. We've got 140 things.
I know, we need to stop adding them.
You've added like 3, so relax.
Yeah, because I know that if we didn't caviar so much when we chatted, we'd actually get through them.
Yeah.
We chat enough. Let's be honest.
We do.
We definitely chat enough. We could get through 140 with the time we chat.
Yeah.
But it's usually about mindless shit.
Mindless. The death penalty was good.
The death penalty was good.
Okay, so my point on that. Speaking of the death penalty.
Yeah. I could make it.
It would not be able to kick that ball. Swift death penalty for that thing.
It probably would get it past you though.
Offensive. Okay. Anyways, back on topic.
Yeah.
So, my perception of that is it gets to a point where you're so congruent with what you say and do. So if I say to someone that I'm going to do something, I do it. Eventually you get to a point where either you have to suppress how many things that you say you're going to do because you can't fulfill everything, or you start to outsource it to other people. And that is a way of quantifying your stress tolerance as well. So if I can't outsource or delegate, then I'm too angst up in my own ability and I can't actually outsource that stress.
Yes.
You need to do that to get to a point. And that is a really good way to quantify hard work, because it gets to a point where everyone can work hard and it's limited to your 24 hours in your day. Everyone can work hard. I think I've said this to you before. You can draw pictures of whatever you want all day and you can be the best at drawing. But is that hard work or is it linear?
True. So you're judging hard work on the output that you're making.
I guess that's the only way to.
And it's sort of what we spoke about with Aria too.
Yes, that's what.
When in his business, when he had to eventually outsource to keep leveling up, he could work as hard as he wanted, and it will be the same for Sculpted as well.
Yeah.
It'll get to a point where you can work as hard as you want by yourself, but to actually make the hard work mean anything, you need to work smart as well.
That's what the NLEP really is, right? So when you actually reverse engineer,
very, very coincidental how the NLEP means whatever you want it to be.
And when you reverse engineer it, the NLEP, PSQM, per square meter, obviously.
Post what?
Per square meter.
Per square meter, okay, yeah.
Is increased when you reverse engineer it to, like, if I was to go to, like, Mark Zuckerberg, the NLEP PSQM would be really high there, because his output and input, well, the input that he gives is...
Yes.
And the output he gets is massive, right?
Yes.
That was so unnecessary, and it didn't even make...
So unnecessary. It was a great point, and you ruined
it. That was so stupid. Okay. Mark Zuckerberg, the NLEP, the output, everything like that, it's all interrelated.
Yes.
And yeah, I guess, how would you say that relates to your life then? When you want to become more productive, when you want to become better, how can you increase your NLEP PSQM?
At what times of the day are you most productive for what activity?
Do you have a...
Yes.
What's yours?
So I will do my... After I eat, for example, I'll do a easier task to gain momentum again.
Yep.
Whereas if I have to do some deep thinking or do an assignment and write up where I'm you could have writer's block, for example. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I can't do that. You almost need the momentum already.
Yes.
Prior.
And eating ruins it, which is why I
Eating
like
does ruin
fasting.
Yes, and I'm most productive as well in the morning before I eat my first meal.
Yeah.
So if there is something that I've been putting off,
Yeah.
I'll do it then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I also use, you'll like this one, the Zeigarnik effect. Do you know what that is?
Tell me.
It's why waiters, if they take your order
Mhm.
and they don't write anything down, why they remember it, because it's an unfinished task, and your brain is prioritizes unfinished tasks. So if you want maximum productivity before you go to bed at night, this, for those who have OCD, maybe this won't be great, but 40 minutes into a lecture of a 50-minute, stop there.
Really?
Right? And then I've only got 10 minutes. It was an easy task. You finish that off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It helps you kickstart your productivity again.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's why there's a study technique as well about 50 minutes break.
Oh yeah.
I don't agree with that, because if you need a break every 15 minutes, you're having more breaks than you're working.
High intensity interval training.
Exactly right. And I don't do that.
Look at the knees. Don't worry, I've got bad knees as well. I've literally got bad. I love ruining it. We're doing high interval training with this. We're getting our rest in there right now.
Superset.
Drop set even.
Superset caviar with a good point.
Digesting.
Oh, we digest. We digest.
A little bit too much sometimes.
But the whole point of that study technique is to give your brain the message, oh, I'm in the flow of it. It's easy to start up again. So your brain prioritizes unfinished tasks as opposed to completing it and then having a break and then having to start again. It's why people procrastinate, because they don't procrastinate because they can't start. It's the effort, the activation energy to start is so difficult that people procrastinate.
Yeah.
They're lazy.
Yeah.
Whereas it's a good way to lower the procrastination.
Which is also where the task complexity buffer also can be too intimidating, because that activation energy is way too high.
Yes.
So it's like, if I want to start a company, I'm thinking, oh, this is so much to do. I don't want to
do it.
Yes. And I never start it, or I never do it.
Yes.
Which is a bit of a fallacy. Would you say?
Yeah, I would.
Because as soon as you start, it becomes the NLEP PSQM increases, right?
Exactly.
So and
seeing it as 1%, and that is the biggest thing, is doing the smallest thing. You'd find it as well. Once you start, yes, you may achieve the most arbitrary task ever, but then that leads to another one, or that leads to another one, and then all of a sudden you've achieved what at the start you would have thought, oh my god, I could never achieve that.
Yeah, 100%. Very, very good point. I like that.
I don't know what that's really got to do with hard work, let's be honest, but I think quantifying hard work as the output, like you said, that you are providing, I think is really helpful.
The tricky thing also about quantifying output is it's also subjective.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, there are people who are making more of a localized impact with their hard work than someone potentially at a global scale.
Yes.
Because it might be survival that the local scale is doing, rather than the luxury of a global scale. Like, these shoe companies, they're working hard whilst they're making, because these aren't this isn't child labor. This is Japanese people with prestigious accuracy. You can smell it, right?
Okay.
You did smell it. There's not blood, sweat. There's not BST on these.
Yeah.
There's no blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah.
There's passion, there's love, there's excitement, there's so much energy put into these shoes.
You should be a football manager.
Yeah.
Yeah. We digest
so much.
We digested so much. Yes.
Activation energy, NLEP, PSQM, BS&T. I love the acronyms.
Unless you've really focused on this podcast, you'd have no idea what that all means.
If you aren't an avid listener of the podcast, you'd just think I'm just saying the alphabet in a disordered manner, which is honestly probably the way I'd also say it.
Just cut.
Okay. Wrapping it up.
Yes.
Advice. What do I do to substitute?
Substitute.
I love the substitute. What do I do to substitute? I actually will kill that dog. Why? Are we not allowed to speak? Literally never under my dictatorship would that be allowed. Freedom of speech, eh? Also a myth. I would say that we've got freedom of speech, but literally make sure there's none. Obviously. It's literally...
Echo chambers.
Yes.
Love an echo chamber. You love an echo chamber.
I co-signed on echo chambers.
You love an echo chamber.
Okay, anyways.
You love an echo chamber. Okay,
what do I do to substitute my phone addiction with? I have a bad phone addiction, and it's no jokes ruining me. Every time I wake up in the morning, I have an instant itch to grab my phone and then spend nearly the entire day watching a movie, watching YouTube shorts, and scrolling Reddits. That's embarrassing. Never admit that. I also spend entire nights watching random beep and not sleeping. And
random what?
Beep.
Wow.
And when I do and wake up late, my head hurts. I do other stuff like reading books, but only for 1 to 2 hours because spelled B-U-C-U-Z, which is a bit weird. My attention span is beep, and it's hard for me to focus. My biggest problem right now is if I stop using my phone, I don't know what the beep else to do the entire day. I left university, currently have no job. That's not good, which means I have lots of free time and I just don't know what to spend it on. Would really like suggestions from peeps, weird, who have had similar problems and how they dealt with it. Just precursor. That's not my life. I'm reading that out.
Sure. That's your journal.
What was the date? October the 2nd? That's last night.
Thoughts. Structure is very important, and you need to keep yourself accountable. Put things in your diary that you have no choice but to attend.
I've got structure. Attend YouTube shorts in the morning. Scroll TikTok. Go on the subreddits.
No, but organize with your friend to go and study at the library.
So you say accountability is a good start.
Accountability.
Okay.
And you actually have to put that in your day so that at this time I'm doing this and it's outside my house where, imagine if you're in a cafe, go to a cafe and study or research something. Lean into your interests and go outside and do it. Because imagine if you're in a cafe and you're watching YouTube. You could, but on your computer?
I would go to the next browser, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Embarrassing.
You feel a bit guilty, don't you? Which, even if you do 20 minutes of work and watch YouTube for an hour when you're out, that's more than you're doing now.
That's what I was going to say.
And recognize the improvement.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. We said it before. Start small. Start so small that you've got no excuse not to.
Compound the good.
This person isn't going to tomorrow flip the switch and be perfect. And it shouldn't be like that. That's actually going to train bad habits.
Yes.
This morning in my call with Andy, we were talking about how quick success is actually detrimental because you don't know how you got there, and additionally, you can't reverse engineer it to fix an issue. Because if I've just employed 50 employees, I then don't know how to actually hire good employees. Because guess what? 49. It's actually beef. Like I've actually got an issue with that dog. I hate that dog.
Yeah, it's not great.
Okay. 49 out of the 50 employees are probably bad employees because you never did or you never knew how to find a good employee. Just like me, when I've got a good idea of what a good employee looks like, but I don't necessarily know how to find a good employee. Thankfully, I've got a few, and I'm very grateful for those employees now. But when I first started, actually all of them left.
Yeah.
And that was just natural selection, right? So to get to that point, you actually have to struggle.
And it's going right back to where we started this conversation. That's why
death penalty should be bad. Sorry, go.
No. We digest. We digest. Why building the attributes before the reward is so much more valuable. Because when you get the reward, you know exactly how you did it.
You know.
So that's why quick riches, if you can't recreate it, I don't think it means you're wealthy.
Crypto guys, that's like one.
Exactly right. If you get a quick buck from crypto, if I took that all away, would you be able to do it again?
No.
Which is why I think it is. And again, time scale too, right?
Okay.
If you change the time scale on, I don't have the reward now, but I'm building the attributes. Imagine when you do have that. Go to the time scale of when you do have the reward. You'll be so much more thankful that you did it that way.
Yeah, good point. Okay. Well, hopefully that person is starting small. I have a quick thought on.
Caveat.
Well, it could be caveat, but it's on topic.
Okay.
They probably tried to just flip the switch overnight, and I feel like they'd fail.
Yes.
And that's exactly what we're trying to do with the Sculpted app, right? Is make it so easy that you've got no excuse to start, and the only thing that you need to start is actually just be aware of it. It's good that that person is aware of it. That's actually the best way to start.
Yeah.
Just be aware of it.
And to be honest, it is you have to put your ego to the side a little bit because
Well, they've probably got none, but yeah.
okay. Well, if you have an ego, it does. That's why you try and change everything all at once. Whereas if you just focus on 1% better tomorrow,
Yeah.
if you do one more thing that's productive tomorrow, then that's a good day.
Yeah.
And then the next day, you're 2% better. But at the start, they're so arbitrary. They're so pointless. The things that you think you're changing and you give yourself credit for, that it is a bit of a hit on your ego, being like, why am I giving myself credit for that?
But a bit like me doing like 100 kg bench press and only getting like 2 millimeters of range of motion.
Yes.
Which you saw firsthand.
Yes.
I dropped that on me.
Did
After.
we do 100
No, I was
kilos?
kidding.
No, we didn't. We didn't.
No,
do 100
we did.
The bar.
60.
The broom.
Yeah.
I'm still on the broom, but next week I think I'll move on to the 2.5.
Progressive overload.
Yeah, progressive overload.
Wait, 2.5 is on the broom or on the barbell?
On the broom.
Do we have the attachment of the sweeping on or off?
No, because that'll be
It
lopsided.
would be.
But we have the clips on because always practice safe sets.
What are you holding? What are you holding from falling off?
The 2.5s.
Oh, you put the 2.5s at this point. But 2.5s were...
No, next time I'm going to have the 2.5s and the clips.
Okay.
I'm giving myself credit for the 1% improvements.
And actually, sticking very much on theme there, if you are starting off with a broom and you're working your way up to 2.5s, good.
Exactly right. I don't. You say that as if I was assuming I was joking.
Still on the broom?
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Okay, I feel bad, but one time at the gym I saw someone lifting 2 kilo weights.
And
I laughed out loud. I couldn't control it. It was funny.
So exactly how I laughed at you when I saw the
Yeah.
7 kg dumbbell curls.
But
Fair enough.
also, like,
What?
I didn't know them, so it was worse. And
That is worse.
and it was obvious because I walked up there, and it didn't come from a bad place, but it was like fair play. Like no, actually, I'm okay with lifting not too heavy. Obviously, with
Yeah.
7s, you know, which
Yeah.
weren't 7s, by the way.
What were they? 8.
No, 6.
Okay.
I felt bad because I was like, I know that I can't control myself with laughing, and it was just so obvious. I was actually with someone, and they were keeping it stum. They pointed it out, and I was like,
Maybe it was their warm-up set.
it wasn't. I know it wasn't because they were well into the session.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I hope he's well.
Was it a guy or
It was
a girl?
He wasn't even-
Older
Oh,
guy?
he was pretty young. Yeah,
Really?
he looked in all right shape.
Maybe he was coming back from an injury.
I think possibly. Yeah. I felt bad.
You should feel bad.
But how could I not laugh?
Okay, so to that person who reached out for advice, in future it's not a safe space. Nick will probably laugh at you and bully you. So
And use it against you.
just keep that in mind if you're going to reach out.
Yeah,
okay?
don't ever tell me that you're a degenerate either, because we know how that goes. Mr. Squeaky Clean over here. CEO of Maturity, they call me.
I know.
I will
I
judge.
thought it was a safe space, and then you bullied.
No, I bullied you and use it against you, and now, yeah,
Now what?
I write it up on our little calendar every single day to remind you.
What?
Send you a calendar invite. Oh, Jack, so
Yeah, hope you're not being a degenerate today, Jack.
hope you're sleeping in. Well, no, hope you're getting to bed early. And Jack's like, oh, it's 5 a.m. and I just got to bed.
Yeah.
Here he goes again. Degen Jack, that's what we call him.
Is this staying in?
Probably.
Oh, good lord.
It's funny because you're really not a degenerate. I say that to my sister as well. I always say she's a degenerate. She's not a degenerate. But
Just compared to you.
that's the thing.
And I only say that to feed your ego because we're literally the same, but you want to think you're in the top 0.0001%.
Want to think or am.
Exactly right. And I'm going to let you think what you want.
I actually have a...
Is it just bad? Sorry. Caviar, and we're going to digest. I just got scared by my own reflection in the window.
I got scared by my own dreams last night, if you do recall. So,
Oh, yeah, true.
we're all human. We all spin our thoughts
Again,
every now and then.
don't take that out of context.
Oh, okay.
Your dad's comment was so funny. Oh my god.
Symbols. What was I talking about? I was saying something about. Oh, I didn't get to land. I don't remember.
The
What was the topic before?
gym
Gym
improvement.
No, it was a little bit unrelated. Anyways, all good. No, that was like not from a spiteful place. It wasn't that important.
No, the fact that you were mid thought and you're just like, okay, we're not going to land
Yeah,
that.
no, I won't.
Yeah, moving on.
That wasn't internal dialogue though. Although internal dialogue's important.
Is it? Yep.
Don't know why that came into conversation. But I think we can wrap it up there. Good
Perfect.
episode.
Great episode.
Awesome. Okay. Like, subscribe, do what you do.
Send your advice in so Nick can laugh at you. Yeah.
Please do. I like to actually
Next week, I'm going to come with advice from my own life.
and not tell me.
Not tell you until the podcast.
Yeah. No, not tell me that it's your advice. Like it's like your
Oh,
situation.
bit of King Solomon.
Bit of King
eh?
Solomon.
He's a good
King
man.
Solly, hope he's well.
Hope he's well.
Keeping his head in the books, obviously. He's
Sorry?
keeping his head in the books, as
Is
he
he?
should be. Well, I
Yeah,
believe
he
so,
should.
right?
Yeah.
He was literally in the book of all time.
True.
Yeah.
You're right.
Big ups.
Big up King Solomon.
Hope King David's doing well as well.
Okay.
Lineage.
What about what other kings?
King Nebuchadnezzar. Not familiar?
No.
Okay, interesting. Nebuchadnezzar, great guy.
Is he?
No, big degenerate.
Oh,
Big
really?
degenerate. Actually, David was a bit of a degenerate as well. Yeah.
So maybe me being a degenerate makes me a king.
Well, that's the character arc, right? Because King David was the man.
I feel like I'm having a tragic fall as opposed to a
No, but-
character villain
but-
arc.
King David did have a tragic fall.
Did he?
Many wives, I believe. Do you want me to get rid of that?
Yes. King David, he's my hero.
Okay, back on topic. That's the episode.
Back on topic.
That's the episode.
That's it.
Yeah. Subscribe, like, new thumbnails, new setup. Jack's in person,
Jack is in person.
and it's cool. Hopefully, in the next few weeks, we'll have Proddy Alfio, Proddy Charles, and we'll have a team. Some could call a clut.
And let us know what you think of Nick's shoes.
Am I gonna? Need to shave the legs firstly.
Yeah.
Getting a little bit overgrown.
Yeah.
Speaking of overgrown,
Overgrown.
please, Jack, we need to get to get them down. Subscribe.
that won't stay in.
Okay, that's the episode.